I know you've seen me a few times, but my name is Jennifer Kloosterman, and I am one of the Academic Pathways Coordinators here at Seneca in the Academic Pathways office. This morning, we have York University here to do a presentation on pathways and about transfers as part of our university and degree information fair. So we will do a short presentation. We are happy to have Kren here to be able to do this presentation and to answer all of your questions. So what we'll do is we'll do the short presentation and then at the end we will have an opportunity for you to ask a question. It is a pretty large group, so we will probably use the chat feature in the bottom right hand corner. Just make sure you are sending your question to all panelists. Yeah, so without further ado, I will pass it over to Kren.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Jennifer. And again, thanks so much to everyone tuning in today and dedicating some time to learn more about transfer pathways from Seneca College to York University. So as mentioned, my name is Kren Aliofsky, and I am the Transfer and Mature Student Recruitment Officer over at York. My email is krenali@yorku.ca. So if there's anything we don't get to today, or if you do have more questions and want to connect with me, I'd love to hear from you. I love getting emails from students, especially Seneca students, so feel free to reach out. Also in the middle of the screen is a really helpful Linktree QR code. And you could use or scan the QR code using your camera app on your phone, and that'll give you access to the Linktree, which has a bunch of helpful resources for our students, including helping you navigate our website. There's also a few links to register for my weekly webinars that I host. And also if you'd like to book a one-on-one appointment with me directly so we could connect that way as well. So we're here to learn a bit more about York University. So you may already be a bit familiar with York. We are the third largest university in Canada. Our largest campus is our Keele campus, located in North Toronto, and that's in the middle of the screen there. The majority of our transfer students that do join us do end up attending our Keele campus. We do have a founding campus though, which is our Glendon campus, and this offers both bilingual and multilingual education. So perhaps in the future, if you're interested in pursuing education or maybe working for the government, you may want to look at the programs we offer at Glendon, because you do get to learn French alongside your studies, which will be in English. Now, finally, we do have really exciting news, and that's that we are opening a Markham campus. This is planned to be open in 2023, and it will be focused on technology, entrepreneurship, and business. So again, stay tuned, or if your program currently at Seneca is focused on the sciences or business as well, and entrepreneurship, IT, this might be the right campus for you if you plan on completing your diploma in and around that time. So as I mentioned, we are one of the larger universities in the country. We have over 11 different faculties, over 200 programs, 6,000 courses, and also a ton of experiential education opportunities linked with all of our programs. Now, I'm going to focus today on most of the faculties that are more geared towards transfer students and popular for transfer students. The first is our Faculty of Liberal Arts and Professional Studies, where again, you're able to study what you love and learn what you need. So we have popular transfer pathways for students in the liberal arts transfer program, such as our Bachelor of Commerce. We also have a really popular Bachelor of Social Work, Communications, Law and Politics, and again, Business and IT as well. Next, we have our Faculty of Health, again, a really popular transfer student programs. So we have everything from global health to health studies. And health studies is a really unique program because, again, for those of you that may want to work in healthcare and are passionate about it, but don't necessarily want to be a doctor or a nurse, it really takes a whole village to run, a clinic or a hospital. So there's a bunch of different jobs available in the healthcare world. So this degree is specifically designed to help you gain either management experience or information on or experience with informatics, etc. We also have the very popular transfer programs, which are kinesiology and health science, where we offer a BA and a BSc. And we now also offer a direct entry nursing program. So again, it's a 4-year program if you wish to join us. Finally, we have psychology, again, a really popular transfer option. where we do offer, again, a Bachelor of Arts or a Bachelor of Science degree. Next, we have our Faculty of Science, where again, you're able to develop a scientific mindset with us. We have everything from life sciences, specifically a biomedical science program. So if your goals in the future are perhaps to attend med school or anything like that, taking something like biomed in your undergraduate degree will provide you with a really strong foundation for future professional programs. We also have chemical sciences, physical sciences, and math and stats. And so those are the majority of our most popular faculties and programs when it comes to transfer options from Seneca to York University. Again, whether you're in the liberal arts transfer program or the arts and science transfer program. And the best thing about York, in my opinion, is that you're really able to do your degree your way. So you're able to double major or major minor. In addition to that, we also have a number of international exchange opportunities. And we also have a Bachelor of Education program. So again, this is a question we do get often from students. So if you are currently in a college program and planning to complete your diploma and then join us at York, you do need to complete an initial undergraduate degree first, and then you'd be eligible to apply to our consecutive education program. So if you're interested in teaching maybe intermediate and senior, so that would be grade 7 to high school, you do need to complete a 4-year honors degree. And you do need to focus on 2 teachables. So you would be able to have a major and then maybe also declare a minor or a double major in order to fulfill those courses. And if you plan on teaching elementary school, typically a 3-year degree is fine. So again, the transfer credits you'd receive from Seneca would shorten your time with us at York. And this way you could get into the B.Ed a bit earlier. Typically, you do need a B or a 73% overall average in the last 2 years of your bachelor's to be eligible to the B.Ed. And again, it's very similar to grad school in the sense that you do need referees, you do need an experiential profile to be written and things of that matter. If you do have questions about the B.Ed, I'm actually a graduate of it as well. So you can always reach out to me. I can let you know my personal experience, and I can also connect you with my colleague, Vanessa Graffi, who is the recruitment officer in the Faculty of Education at York. Alongside that, we also have many other pathways to graduate studies and also over 50+ undergraduate certificate programs that you can add to your degree. The best part about this, again, is that it helps you be a bit more, it helps you stand out, I would say, especially on a resume when you're applying to jobs in the future, that you do have a diploma, a degree, and also a certificate. So what is a college transfer? It's basically a student who's currently in college right now and has completed at least 2 semesters or more of college studies. So we do need quite a few courses to be able to assess your eligibility in terms of GPA. And typically, the minimum GPA we need is a 3.0, in and around a 3.3. But given that we have specific pathways with Seneca, if you are part of that pathway or articulation agreement, even if you're applying to a more competitive program like our BCom, which typically requires a 3.3 for transfers, because you're part of that transfer pathway, a 3.0 is sufficient. So that would be a B or a 70%. And again, this is your overall average or your cumulative average in all of the courses you've taken so far at Seneca. So what are these specific articulation agreements that we have with Seneca? Well, typically graduates, again, with an overall B or 3.0 are considered for admission and also granted up to 36 transfer credits when entering a BA or a BSc program in, for example, our Faculty of Liberal Arts and Professional Studies. Now, again, please note, over 36 transfer credits is more than a year of studies at York, which is amazing. So again, it's just over a year of credits that you gain at York, and then you'll be able to most likely start classes in your 2nd year. Now, all applicants, again, are also granted 3 additional transfer credits for each YKC or YKL course achieved with a minimum C, for a total of 12 additional transfer credits and an overall total of about 48 credits. So again, this would mean that you're, gaining way beyond the amount of transfer credits to York from a college program. And again, you'd most likely be able to start with us at York in and around close to the end of your 1st year. So you'd most likely be able to start in your 1st year, final semester of your 1st year of university. Now, if you choose to apply to a different program, perhaps there's not a specific pathway that we have in terms of York, that's okay. You're still eligible to apply to transfer, and you'll still be eligible for transfer credit. Again, all transfer credit is assessed once students apply and provide us with transcripts. But along with that, you'll still be eligible to receive about 36 to 42 transfer credits. With that said, again, keep in mind that your transfer credits that you will be receiving will go a lot towards things like electives, things like your general education courses at York, which all students need to complete within their undergraduate degree. But we also do our best to give you additional transfer credit for any program-specific courses if they're very linked to your undergrad. And again, Seneca does have a really great helpful page. If you do want to visit that as well, I'm sure my colleagues can help put that in the chat. So how do you apply to York? Well, typically there's a few things you want to do before you take the steps to apply, and that'll be to review admission requirements by visiting our program page. Again, if you use the link to my link tree, I have a specific link to this for that as well. And again, when it comes to things like our direct nursing program, you do have to apply by February 1st if you wish to start with us in September 2022. And we do have deadlines that are sort of ongoing, but for May 2022 entry or the summer entry, you want to apply by March 15th. And for September, you want to apply by July 15th. You would apply simply by visiting yorku.ca/apply via the OUAC or our YorkU app. And then you'd submit any required documents via our YorkU application portal, which is called MyFile. And in a few steps, I'll show you what that looks like. So again, to apply, you'll visit this page. This is what it'll look like. And again, if you plan to apply to more than one university, please use option 1, the OUAC app, the 105 app specifically. And if you only plan to apply to York, that's okay as well. You can use option 2, which is our YorkU app, and it gives you 2 program choices. Now, after you apply and you submit your initial application, this is what our YorkU portal looks like. We will email you in about a week after you apply to provide you with your York reference number or student number, and you'll log in with your date of birth. And this is what the page will look like. So again, this is where you provide us with documents. So in any previous steps, that's not needed, but at this step of when you do get access to MyFile, under the supporting documents tab, you will see that there is a transcript requested from Seneca College. Again, so if you have access to your Seneca College portal, if you're able to download a current transcript you have, you can upload this on your own. And then if you do receive an offer, it's only at that point that we would need official transcripts, which you can get from Seneca directly. Now, let's say you do receive an offer. So this is what your offer letter will potentially look like. So again, at the top, we do have automatic entrance scholarships available for our students, which is great. So again, it's a lot of great incentive for you to apply with as strong of averages as possible at Seneca, because you will be awarded, an automatic entrance scholarship that is renewable with us at York. Typically, they'll start at about $500 and go up. Now, under admissions conditions, this is simply just requesting that you submit an official transcript to us. Because our initial review is based on the copies you provided us with. And then down below is where we provide you with any specific transfer credit feedback. So again, when you apply and submit your transcripts to us, our office will do a review. And as you can see, this student was awarded 30 credits in their pre-assessment. So again, this is typically about the minimum, but again, given that you're Seneca students, if you are part of a pathway, you would be eligible for about 36 to 45 credits that you would gain over at York. Now, just to summarize the transfer process, because again, it can get a bit confusing. Again, there's 4 simple steps when it comes to understanding what the process is. The first is that you would apply online. Again, once you receive a student number, you would log into MyFile, and at that stage, you would upload transcripts to us or any other information we're requesting from you. And then your second step is only if you are admissible and receive an offer, will we then list your pre-assessment of credits on that offer letter. So again, you do have an estimation, which again is provided on the Seneca website, and the numbers I've provided you in a few slides prior, which is about 36 to 45 credits. but a more accurate number will be listed on this offer letter. Now, after you accept that offer, and then you book an enrollment appointment, that then starts another process, internal process with our office, where they do a full course by course assessment. And then you get provided what's called a transfer credit statement. Now, to help you understand that statement, to help you enroll in courses, and to help you understand how much longer you need in order to finish a degree with us at York, all of that information will be provided to you with an academic advisor in your faculty. So every student gets an academic advisor, and they will guide you through all of the next steps you need to know in terms of course enrollment, how many courses you need to graduate, and any other information like that when it comes to understanding that transfer credit statement. Now, what are other ways we support our students at York? Well, there's mental health and wellness. We also have peer mentors in all of our programs, which are upper level students that, have taken the courses you're in right now and can help you do much better academically. And again, as I mentioned, we also have academic advisors. We also have financial advising and entrance scholarships, and a really great career center, which again offers workshops on everything from how to draft a really good resume, to interview skills, to prepping your documents and anything like that for things like the BEd or grad school. One last thing I want to encourage you to do is to visit go.yorku.ca/events. And this is very helpful because it'll allow you to sign up for any upcoming webinars that are program or faculty specific. So you can hear from faculty members, you can hear from students in the program of your choice right now and see, what they love about the program and if it's a good fit for you. In addition to that, my contact information, as you know, is crenally@yorku.ca. And another really helpful resource for transfer students is my Linktree resource, which is YorkU Transfer Mature. So again, you can sign up for a one-on-one appointment on there with me. You can check out my webinar, which is an hour in length and has a bit more information on the transfer process and pathways, or again, feel free to email me directly and we can connect that way as well. Again, I know this presentation was jam-packed with information, but again, if you do have specific questions, we can also connect via email or one-on-one, and I'm happy to take any questions you have right now as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Kren. That's amazing. So much helpful information, and lots of ways for students to connect with you and attend your events and whatnot. So that's fabulous. I do have a few questions that I sort of flagged as they were coming in. So this is one that does come in quite a bit. So if a student wants to do a minor in something, how would they go about that?
Yeah, definitely. So when you are applying either through OUAC 105 app or our YorkU application, you only select one major. So you only select one program that you're applying to. After you receive an offer and you sit down with your academic advisor, it's at that point you'll let them know you're also interested in pursuing a minor, and they can add that to your degree for you. They'll also let you know what that entails, so how many credits you have to take in that minor. They can also help you do an assessment of if there's any transfer credits that may fall into that minor, so that you've already had them completed, which would be great. But it's basically at that stage that we do that.
Perfect. We've also had some questions come through from students. I know you were talking about GPA, and students are asking if that's a cumulative GPA. So the answer to that question for Seneca students is a little bit tricky, just because Seneca has a number of different types of GPAs that are listed on the transcript. So when you're a Seneca student and you're looking at your transcript, sometimes your cumulative GPA isn't accurate, depending on if you changed programs in the past or if you failed a course, because a cumulative GPA on your transcript will not include any courses that you didn't pass. Also, it will combine all courses, no matter how many number of programs you've taken at Seneca. So what we're often looking at is your program GPA. So if for some reason your program GPA and your cumulative GPA are not the same, then get in touch with us and we can help you figure that out, or with your academic advisor. But what York is looking at is basically all of the courses for your particular program at Seneca. So yes, so if your program GPA and your cumulative GPA are different, that means that you've either not passed a course or you've changed programs likely. So get in touch with us and we can help you sort that out. Do we need to do an English test like IELTS if we have done 3 years at Seneca?
Great question. Yes. So as you'll see, if you've done at least 2 full years of full-time studies at Seneca, then you would be exempt from having to do an English language test. If it's less than 2 full years of full-time studies, you will see when you log into My File that under information required is proof of language facility. So if this shows up, it means that we do need a language test for you. Sometimes this happens in error as well when you complete our application, because if under first language you list another language, automatically our system understands that as you may be an international student, so it typically lists this requirement. If that's an error for you, if you've completed high school in an English medium school or here in the province, again, just let me know and I can get that fixed for you on our end. But otherwise, again, unless you've completed 2 full years at college of full-time studies, you will be required to do an English language test in that case. But again, 2 years or more and you would be exempt. And again, as you can see under status as well, English language tests do need to come from the test center directly. So after you complete a test, just let IELTS or TOEFL, or we do now also accept Duolingo, you just let them know to send your results to York directly.
Perfect. So I have a lot of questions coming in about when should I start applying to York?
Yeah, another great question. So again, as I mentioned, our deadlines typically for summer are around March, the middle of March, and our deadline for September again is typically mid-July. And when I say deadline, I would encourage you to apply way before that, in all honesty. So again, if you plan on completing your program at Seneca around April and you'd want to join us for May, you can definitely apply right now. We do understand that you're still taking courses for the winter and you won't have those marks in, but we can see marks from your fall term and we will wait for your final marks typically in order to make a decision. If you apply with, a really strong GPA over the minimum requirement, and you've submitted any additional documents, at times we may also be able to extend a conditional offer if you also have all the prereqs needed. But again, even if that doesn't happen, don't worry. We continue to make offers all throughout the winter term, and again into the spring as well for students applying to the fall. But again, when I say to apply earlier, it's just easier for you to already have access to My File, to already be uploading documents or transcripts, and getting yourself organized in that way so that those documents are there. And then whatever is outstanding, it would be just an easy upload for you to do afterwards. So again, although our deadlines are in the next few months or into the midsummer, I would suggest applying right now.
Okay. And then there's just a follow-up to that one. Students asking, are there any interviews that they have to give as part of the admissions process?
Yeah, so no interviews are needed for the majority of our courses. If you're interested in applying to a BFA program, so that would be a Bachelor of Fine Arts within our School of Arts, Media, Performance, and Design, in that specific scenario, you would be required either to do an audition or submit a portfolio or do an interview for those specific programs. But apart from that, it's not needed. Admission is specifically based on your transcript, again, your program or overall GPA, and then all of the prereqs that we require for your program of choice as well. And again, if you are in a pathway program with us, there is prereqs required, but your program at Seneca does help you fulfill those prereqs, which is great as well. So if you have any specific questions about prereqs or you want to double check that they are covered, again, you can always connect with me or with, I believe, one of your advisors at Seneca too.
Yep, for sure. I have another question here. I'm a new international student at Seneca this winter, 2022. After completing my first 2 semesters, can I apply for the fall 2022 intake now, or do I have to wait until next year since my course is in progress?
So it would be up to you. Now, we always recommend students complete their diploma first. It's great to have that on a resume alongside pursuing a degree afterwards. But if you've decided that, you know, you only want to spend a year at Seneca and then transfer earlier, you can still apply to transfer. Just keep in mind you would be eligible for less credits in that situation because you haven't completed the whole program at the college level. In addition to that, if you are an international student who did not attend an English medium school, you would also have to do a language test given that you haven't completed the 2 full years of full-time studies at college. But otherwise, again, students are able and eligible to transfer at any point in their academic career.
Yeah, I mean, we get a lot of questions like, can I transfer in August? Can I transfer January? So I always encourage students to check to make sure that the program that they want to apply to actually starts in that semester. And then check the deadline for that that timing, and then just that would indicate when you would apply. I think sometimes students can't wrap their head around the fact that you are applying oftentimes before you're finished your studies at Seneca. That's quite normal. That's usually the way it goes. Just for example, like for a September start, most students are doing their application sometime in January. Deadlines for each school are different, and even within a school, there are some deadlines that are sooner than others. So yes, it's quite normal to be applying to university before you're actually finished your studies at Seneca.
Definitely. And again, for the majority of our programs, we do offer both summer and fall intake. But again, some of the more competitive ones will only be offered for the fall. So some quick examples for you are things like kinesiology, also criminology, for example, and even nursing is another example. And for any students interested in maybe the Bachelor of Social Work, that is also really competitive. So although our applications are for September, typically the deadline is in the beginning of January.
I have another question here. If I have my English language test completed in my home country, can I apply with that? It's not older than 2 years.
I believe typically English language tests are valid for 1 year. However, again, if you provide us with some more information, I would be able to clarify that with our Office of Admissions.
Okay. So again, Kren's info, email info is in the presentation as well as the chat. It's been posted there. So if you have a very specific question, please feel free to reach out to Kren or also to us in the Academic Pathways office. Lots of people are asking about the presentation. So this is being recorded and it will be posted on the event page after if you need to go back to that. I guess one final thing just to cover is transcripts. So if you're a student and you're applying and you are, let's just say, for example, you're applying now for a fall start, you may be required to just make sure that you're uploading your transcripts as your semesters are going on so that York always has those up-to-date transcripts. And like Kren outlined, it's very easy to do that on your My File. It'll save you some money than requesting them on OUAC for each semester. So you can upload those using the My File, but just make sure that you get an official transcript sent to York when you've graduated.
And along with that too, I'll just add for any students. So I get a lot of inquiries of students maybe hesitant to upload transcripts because they think we may only judge admission based off of that term. But if we do see that you're enrolled in winter courses as well, don't worry, we will wait for that winter term as well. And we will take your overall GPA. So again, you still have a whole term to improve your GPA or do as well as possible. And again, please provide us with transcripts on an ongoing basis.
Here's a pretty popular question too. When are offers of admission typically sent out?
Yeah, so if you apply, right now and you do submit all of your transcripts and any outstanding documents to us, typically it's a 6 to 8 week process to review all of your submitted documents and make a decision. Now, keep in mind, if you're applying right now for September, our focus right now is mostly focused on summer intake. So we are reviewing applicants who have applied for the summer term. So it may take a couple months or so in order for you to get a decision for September. However, for our more competitive programs that only have September intake, please note that in that case, you may receive an offer in the midwinter term.
Great, thank you. Here we need to get a 3 GPA individually in all of the 4 semesters of diploma to be qualified for York.
No, so it would be your overall GPA. So that would be all of the courses you've taken at Seneca. The cumulative average of that would have to be a B.
Got it. So we've gone over by a little bit. So thank you. There were some questions coming in, but I will wrap this up. So students, if you have more specific questions that are very specific to you and your situation and your academic background, please do not hesitate to get in touch with Kren or with one of our team members from the Academic Pathways office. Kren's email address is in the chat. I don't know if you want to put that page back up, Kren, that has all of your info. As well, you can make an appointment with one of us in the Academic Pathways office. And if we need to liaise with Kren to get the right answer for you, we can do that as well. We do work quite closely. So I'm sure a lot of students have a lot of more specific questions that are very specific to their background. So there are many ways for you to connect after this session. I wanted to just thank Kren for this great session and for answering all those questions for us. That was super helpful. And again, encourage students to connect with us by appointment, by email, whatever's easier for you. And we will definitely aim to support you on your transfer process. So yeah, I think we're gonna wrap things up there.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Jennifer, again, and thank you to everyone who tuned in. I hope you found the presentation helpful, and again, please feel free to connect with me one-on-one. I'd love to help and support you.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you for joining us.